Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be showing y'all these 3 simple keto meal prep options for you to enjoy along your weight loss journey. I have lost over 70 pounds along my weight loss journey, and these are just some simple meals that I enjoyed along the way that you can go ahead and meal prep at home for your weight loss journey. So let's go ahead and get straight to the video. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and get started on, I like to start off with the veggies. So we're gonna go ahead and prep all our veggies for the meals and get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to prepping the meat. Okay, these are all the veggies that I'm gonna go in with. We're only making 3 kinds of different meals, but we're making 2 of each. So the majority of my meals is gonna contain some broccoli. So we're gonna go ahead and rinse that, give it a good chop. We got some fresh green beans right here that we're gonna go in and rinse. We're gonna be making some zoodles out of some zucchini. So we're gonna spiralize these and give them a good rinse as well. We have a few bell peppers. The only one I really don't have to prep. We actually have some warm up cauliflower rice right here. This is the Mexican or the Spanish style cauliflower rice. If you're making it fresh, you might need to prep your cauliflower, but this is just a warm up bag. So you can also go in with warm up veggies if you don't wanna do a whole lot of prepping and you wanna make it that much more easier. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my bell peppers, so I went ahead and gave them a good rinse. If you have anything that will make prepping so much more easier, you wanna buy some things if you can. So this is just like a chopper, and it just makes chopping vegetables that much more easier. I have it linked in the description below in my Amazon storefront if you are interested. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these apart, and we're just gonna go ahead and get to dicing. So I kind of just make them into smaller portions and dice them. As simple as that. So since these are gonna go into one meal, I can just go ahead and combine my bell peppers in the chopper. And then I like to go ahead and just put all my veggies into separate bowls, and then when we're ready to cook, we can just toss it into our meals. Next veggie I'm going to prep, we got some fresh green beans. So I just gave them a good rinse, and then I kind of just take bunches and I'll chop off the ends. And then we're gonna go ahead and toss them in a bowl. If they're too big, you can also just snap them in half if you would like to. All right, we have our green beans nice and chopped. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next veggie. The next vegetable, I'm gonna go ahead and give a good rinse. We're gonna be going in with some broccoli. All right, we rinsed our broccoli. So I don't know about y'all, but broccoli is probably one of my favorite vegetables. So I go in with a lot of broccoli usually in my meal preps. So I kind of just take the crown and I will chop around. This is just easier way to chop some broccoli. Kind of just work my way around, and then all the florets will fall off. And you're stuck with this little thing right here. And then if you see any bigger pieces, you can just go ahead and chop them off, and you have yourself some little florets. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add them to a bowl and toss this off to the side when I'm done. All right, got my broccoli prepped. Last veggie that I'm gonna go ahead and prep is our zucchini. So I'm making zoodles with zucchini. If you don't know what zoodles are, they're kind of like a noodle replacement just with zucchini. So again, whatever tools you have to make this easier, you're gonna wanna go ahead and use. This is a zoodler. So all you do is spiralize the zucchini in it, and it makes like noodle shaped zucchini. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse these first, and then we'll get started on them. So for this specific zoodler, I like to just cut off the front end of the zucchinis first. We're gonna make sure we have a bowl off to the side. So with the zucchinis, I chop off the front end, and I'll leave the back end because this zoodler right here, this little end comes out, and you actually stick it through the zucchini to hold it, to spiralize it. So it has a thin and it has a thick side. Usually I like to go in with the thick side. So you just put the zucchini in there, and then you attach this to the end of it, and you can go ahead and spin it. But usually I attach it when it's a little bit smaller. And then all you do is just spiralize your zucchini, and it makes noodle shapes for your like pasta replacement. And then you just go ahead and continue until you're done. And as it gets smaller, if you don't want your hands to get as close, this is where you take the other end and you kind of just stick it in there, and then it helps you turn without catching your fingers. All right, and when you're done, you can kind of just toss the end of it or choose what you want to do with it. But you should have little noodle replacements that look just like this. So the main veggie I'm going to use for my meal preps is broccoli. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and get my broccoli started, since it's gonna take a little bit longer, or we're just gonna need it for multiple meal preps. So all I simply do is just boil my broccoli. You could grill your broccoli, however you would like to do it in your way. First meal prep we're gonna make is some zoodles with some red sauce and ground beef. Once we have our butter melted, we're gonna go ahead and add our zoodles. If you have a lot, you might have to cook them in batches, but honestly, the zoodles cook down pretty fast, so it will not take long at all. We're gonna go ahead and season. You can season with whatever you like. I personally like to go in with some Italian seasoning and some salt and pepper. We're just gonna give them a toss. Just keep tossing until they get nice and tender. I kind of like to leave a slight crunch to them still, but it all just depends on you. Okay, once they cook down just as much as you like them, they're nice and tender, you're gonna go ahead and take them out and put them to a bowl to the side. Now in the same pan, I'm gonna go ahead and cook down some ground beef or ground turkey, whatever you prefer. So I like to just cook my ground beef first and then we'll season. Okay, once my ground beef is cooked through, I went ahead and drained any excess fat. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and season with a little Italian seasoning, some salt and pepper to taste, and some garlic powder. Now you're gonna take your choice of low sugar red sauce and we're gonna add it in. I usually take a little bit of water and help mix it through. Then all you're gonna do is let this come to a simmer. It just has to heat through. The meat's already cooked, so you don't need to do much else. If you would like to add some mushrooms in here, you can do that as well, but we're just gonna pour it over the zoodles once it's done heating through. My sauce is finished, and since I'm going to be adding some broccoli, I'm gonna go ahead and drain my broccoli and just season it with some salt and pepper. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble. You just put it in any meal prep container that you're gonna go in with. I'm gonna go ahead and put a serving of my broccoli for my veggie side. And I just seasoned it with salt and pepper, but you can definitely go in with different seasonings. I just kind of keep it the same if I'm going in with multiple meal preps. Then we're going to go ahead and lay down a bed of zoodles. And then we're just going to go ahead and put a serving of your red sauce right on top of the zoodles. And then if you like, you can also top it off with a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese or whatever cheese that you would like. And here is one of our first keto meal preps that you can go ahead and enjoy along your weight loss journey. Very simple, very filling. It's probably one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and move on to the next prep. Okay, next prep we're gonna make like some enchilada inspired chicken. So I have my 2 chicken breasts right here. You can season with what you like, but we're gonna be adding some enchilada sauce, so that's gonna bring in a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna go in with some basic seasonings. We're gonna add a little onion powder, and we're gonna season both sides after this. You wanna go in with some chili powder, a little garlic powder, and then just some salt and pepper, and then season the other side, and we're gonna get our pan nice and hot. I got my pan nice and hot, added a little oil, and we're gonna go ahead and start grilling up our chicken. And we're just gonna cook these all the way through. I like to go ahead and cover my chicken with the lid just to keep some of the steam in. All right, once I have one side of my chicken nice and grilled, we're gonna go ahead and flip it over, and we're gonna cook the other side. Okay, once I get a nice grill on the other side of my chicken, now this is where you're gonna come in with any kind of enchilada sauce you want. I'm just using some red enchilada sauce. And we're gonna pour it over our chicken. And then this is gonna continue simmering and cooking with the sauce. We're just gonna give it a few minutes. You can go ahead and put a lid over it. So as my chicken finishes cooking and it's almost done, we're gonna go ahead and start warming up this Spanish style cauliflower rice. If you don't have an H-E-B near you, they do sell different brands of cauliflower rice, and you can just season it to your liking. Okay, once your chicken is all the way cooked through, you're just gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. We're gonna start serving up our meal prep, but we're also gonna top this off with some cheese. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with for this meal prep is my broccoli that I went ahead and cooked up earlier. We're also going to go in with a serving of that Mexican cauliflower rice, which is 1 cup. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our grilled chicken. You can also pour some of the enchilada sauce right on top. And then I'm also going to top it off with some shredded Mexican cheese, just a Mexican blend, right on top of the chicken. And here is our simple meal prep, just some enchilada chicken with a side of cauliflower rice and a simple veggie. Hopefully y'all enjoy this one. This one is really good. Let's go ahead and move on to our last meal prep. So for our last meal prep, we're gonna make some simple sausage with bell peppers. So I went ahead and sliced up a few sausage links. You could use whatever brand or whatever kind that you like. And we're just gonna go ahead and cook these through, just get a nice sear on them. Once my sausage is almost slightly done, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and add in those chopped bell peppers. And we're just gonna go ahead and cook these along with the sausage. I'm just gonna season with a little bit of salt and pepper because the sausage already has tons of flavor, but you could season with what you like. All right, once your sausage is cooked through and your bell peppers are nice and tender, I'm gonna go ahead and separate these in my meal prep containers, and then we're gonna go ahead and cook up our green beans. So for my green beans, I'm just getting a nice sear on them. I'm putting them in some oil, and then you can season with what you like. I'm actually gonna season with a little bit of this vegetable magic. This one's really good. And just some salt and pepper. I like to just add a splash of water just to help them steam a little bit. All right, once you got a nice grill on your green beans, we're just gonna go ahead and serve up our meal prep. It's a very simple, basic meal prep, only a couple ingredients. I also like to add a little cheese to the veggies. This is optional. If you have a hard time getting in your veggies, but you like cheese, you can just add a little cheese to your veggies and it just helps it out a little bit. All right, and here is our last keto meal prep, just some simple sausage bell peppers with a side of green beans. I hope y'all enjoyed this one as well. All right, guys, but that was our 3 simple keto meal preps for y'all to enjoy along y'all's weight loss journey for the new year. I really hope y'all enjoyed these easy options. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on this video, and I will see you on the next one.